Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Inner Circle. Today, we're talking about a watch that I really like and that I think is seriously underappreciated and certainly undervalued by the market. This is the Overseas first generation. The reference number is 42020. I think over the next couple of years, we might see these picking up a little bit. The overseas has established itself as a serious contender in the integrated bracelet sports luxury watch category, even though it did not quite usurp the throne from uh, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak and Patek Philippe Nautilus, which, of course, in so many ways established that category with Gérard Janta's design genius. But the other reason behind my thinking of the overseas first generation picking up, especially in these time only designs, is their proximity to the 222, which of course came in 1977 to celebrate the 222nd anniversary of the manufacture, designed by Jörg Haschek, um, and the model was revived, as you probably know, in 2022 and has been on a high ever since. I was recently at a party in Vacheron Constantin's Suite 1755, which they operated as a pop-up store here in Los Angeles while they were renovating their Beverly Hills boutique. And everyone was talking about the 222. Everyone was asking for the 222. It seems that is their hype watch now. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into uh, talking about the first generation of the overseas, which I think is much more similar in terms of its design, um, in terms of its dimensions, since it is 37 millimeters, and in terms of how it feels on the wrist. I have focused on three stainless steel examples, but of course, this is a watch that is also available in precious metal. Um, it's still a value proposition in precious metal as well, but I think the bargain that you get in stainless steel, especially if you're looking um, for this particular category and a watch that is a little more compact, the value proposition is undeniable. The bargain you get there is still unmatched. This is the military dial, which is an acquired taste, and it's not a coincidence that this is the cheapest out of the three that I chose today. I kind of like the military dial. In this generation, I'm not a huge fan of it in the chronographs. I think the numbers look too stylized to me, but they harken back to early 20th century military chronometers that Vacheron Constantin made. And I think it kind of fits well with the design, with the overall design of this watch. I like the first generation of the overseas bracelet much better than the current one, aesthetically speaking. You will have to be the judge of how it feels on the wrist for yourself. I think this is a beautiful design and has, as you can see, that um, overseas case back that they kept on the second generation as well. Solid case back with the three-masted ship that kind of invokes that spirit of travel, and for better or worse, conquest as well, because it's supposed to uh, kind of evoke Amerigo Vespucci's ship as well. Very cool piece, very unique with the military dial. There are not many watches that look like this. So even for that, I think the watch has something to suggest. This is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Jumbo, which means 37 millimeter in this case, with a matte black dial, uh, luminous stylized Arabic numerals, which make it quote unquote a military dial, listed here by a professional dealer out of Hong Kong. The buy it now option is 12,500 in US dollars, but they remain open to negotiation. So you should absolutely feel free to send in a bid and see if you can negotiate an even better deal. Of course, a presentation on an integrated bracelet, stainless steel sports luxury watch wouldn't be complete without a blue dial example. So there you go. This piece actually uh, is perhaps as emblematic as it gets. Again, the jumbo version, chronometer with the self-winding movement in the 37 millimeter case on the integrated bracelet, all in stainless steel and with the blue sunray brushed dial, which is, as you can see, a chameleon of sorts with a kind of purplish tint in it as well, and a tone of slate gray even from certain angles, as well as, of course, blue. With the solid case back that has a depiction of the three-masted ship. Very thin and refined watch. Again, very much in the style of the 222 rather than the overseas, although, of course, this is the first generation of the overseas. And here it is actually presented with service box and papers. Just to put it out there so it doesn't get confused with something else, because the 222, of course, was based on the JLC 920 movement. This is not. This is a movement that within the company jargon is called caliber 1310, and it is based on the Girard-Perregaux 3100 movement, which again is not, there's nothing to suggest against it. It instantly comes to my mind as we speak now that this is the movement that the Daniel Roth brand used in the hourglass era for its time and date pieces, for the Le Sentier, for example. It is supremely capable, movement. As you can see behind the solid case back, it is very nicely finished too. And it is, in this case, chronometer certified as well. This is the Vacheron Constantin overseas first generation reference 42040 with the blue sunray brushed dial as a set, including service papers and box, listed by a professional dealer out of Spain on Chrono24. The buy it now price is 14,940 in US dollars, but the seller remains open to negotiation. So there's always an option to send in a bid. Last but not least, again, a personal favorite, even though I feel in this case the premium is a little unconscionable, but this dial really brings out something different in this watch. And if the presentation has been in ascending order of price, it's also been, I think, in this case, in kind of um, an order of elevated elegance or formality in a way, with the military dial being perhaps the sportiest, with the sunray brushed, with the sunburst blue dial, giving you a nice compromise between the sportiness and elegant formality, and with the salmon dial, of course, making this a very reliable everyday wearer, which has certainly that tip of the hat towards distinguished elegance. It is a beautiful, again, sunray brushed version of the salmon, which has shades of nude more than copper. Nice three-hander. Again, this watch has a lot to suggest itself in the category. Beautiful three-hander in a compact 37 millimeter case with the date at 3 o'clock. And the thickness of the case is 8.5 millimeters. So a supremely elegant and ultra fine piece, and has a very interesting appeal with the salmon dial too, even though again I feel that the premium that they ask for it oftentimes is unconscionable. But anyway, private seller out of France listed this example with an original presentation box, no original papers included. I'm sure you can get an archival extract for this special piece from the brand directly through the boutique. This is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Jumbo from the first generation with the relatively rare salmon dial, listed on Chrono24 for right under 23,000 in US dollars, 22,992. But you should absolutely feel free to make a bid and try to see if you can negotiate an even better deal for yourself. I think, again, I complained a lot about the price point, but this has to be my pick of the litter out of the three. So I will relent and say, if you also like it, the salmon dial certainly brings something out of the dimensions, of the compactness, and of the elegance of this watch. But it looks absolutely stunning with the blue dial as well. And the military dial is certainly a very unique piece. Let me know if you have any questions about these particular listings. Of course, you can just contact me directly here. You should, of course, feel free to always send me an email with any watch-related questions via lordhellespont5@gmail.com. That is lordhellespont@gmail.com. And of course, you can always find me on Instagram at young.brando. Thank you again for your support, and thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear and enjoy your watches, and take care of yourself. Until next time, goodbye, friends.